What if you could grow older without ever leaving the home where you raised your kids, planted your garden, or hung your favorite pictures on the wall? What if aging didn't mean giving up your freedom, your dignity, or the little things that make life yours, like your morning ritual of coffee in that chipped mug you've had for decades? For so many seniors, the thought of a nursing home feels like a shadow looming over those precious moments, a place where control slips away and life starts to feel like someone else's story. But here's the truth, you don't have to settle for that. There are vibrant, empowering ways to age that keep you in charge, surrounded by what you love, and connected to people who matter. In this video, we're exploring 6 incredible alternatives to nursing homes that are helping folks age 60 to 100 live with independence, purpose, and joy. These aren't just dreams, they're practical solutions real people are choosing today. Stay with me, because by the end, you might discover an option that feels like it was made for you or someone you care about. Let's dive in and see what's possible. The first alternative is one of the most powerful: staying in your own home with personalized in-home care. There's something deeply comforting about the place you've called home for years. The way the light filters through your living room, curtains the familiar creak of the stairs, the photos on the mantle that tell your life story, these things aren't just stuff. They're part of your soul. Leaving them behind can feel like losing a piece of yourself, and for many, that's what makes nursing homes so daunting. But in-home care changes the game. It's not about handing over your life to someone else. It's about getting just enough support to keep living the way you want. Picture this: a kind caregiver stops by a few days a week to help with tasks like cooking, cleaning, or even bathing, so you can keep enjoying your garden, your favorite chair, or your evening crossword puzzle without worry. I heard about a man named Frank, 84, who lives in a small town in Ohio. After a stroke left him with some mobility challenges, he thought his days in his cozy bungalow were numbered. But then he found an in-home care service that sends a nurse twice a week to help with physical therapy and medication management. Frank still tends his tomato plants, hosts his weekly poker night, and feels like himself, not a patient. That's the magic of in-home care. It's tailored to you. Research from the American Association of Retired Persons in 2020 showed that seniors with in-home care report 30% higher life satisfaction than those in facilities, largely because they stay in environments that feel safe and familiar. The familiarity of home can boost your mood, sharpen your mind, and even help you sleep better, things no institution can replicate. What makes in-home care so special is its flexibility. You might start with a caregiver for a few hours a week to help with laundry or errands, then scale up to daily visits if your needs change. Costs can be surprisingly manageable, often less than a nursing home, especially with programs like Medicaid or veteran benefits pitching in. The trick is finding a caregiver who feels like a partner, not a boss, someone who respects your routines and preferences. If you're thinking, this sounds great, but where do I start? To try talking to your doctor or a local senior center for recommendations on reputable agencies. It's about making your home work for you so you can keep living your story, not someone else's. Now let's talk about the second alternative: co-housing with friends or like-minded peers. Have you ever imagined living with people who share your love for morning walks, old jazz records, or late-night talks about life's big moments? Co-housing is a growing trend where seniors band together to share a home, or a small cluster of homes, splitting costs and chores while keeping their own private spaces. It's like recreating the best parts of a close-knit neighborhood: support, laughter, and companionship, without the loneliness of living solo or the structure of a facility. Imagine sharing a big house with two or three friends each with your own bedroom and bathroom, but coming together for meals in a shared kitchen or movie nights in a cozy living room. It's not about losing your privacy. It's about gaining a community that feels like family. I came across a story about three friends in their late 60s in Colorado who decided to try co-housing after one of them lost her spouse. They rented a spacious house together, each with their own suite, and they take turns cooking, gardening, and even hosting book clubs. When one of them, Clara, sprained her ankle, the others stepped in to help with groceries and driving. No fuss, just friends being there for each other. Studies from the National Institute on Aging suggest that social connections like these can lower the risk of depression by 25% and even improve physical health by reducing stress. Plus, sharing expenses like rent, utilities, or Wi-Fi makes it more affordable than living alone or in a care facility. The key is choosing housemates who share your vibe and setting clear boundaries like agreeing on quiet hours or who handles what chores. It's like a recipe for a good stew. Everyone brings something to the table, but you need a pinch of planning to make it work. If these ideas are sparking some hope or curiosity, drop a comment below with option 2 to let me know you're with me. Let's keep exploring how you can age with the independence and dignity you deserve. Now let's explore another way to keep your independence and live life on your terms, aging in place with smart home modifications. Your home isn't just a building, it's a sanctuary filled with the echoes of laughter, the scent of your favorite meals, and the comfort of knowing exactly where everything is. But as we get older, things like steep stairs or slippery floors can start to feel like obstacles rather than quirks. That's where smart home modifications come in. This isn't about turning your house into a hospital or admitting defeat. It's about reshaping your space so it supports you as fiercely as you've supported it all these years. Think of it like giving your home a little upgrade to match the life you want to keep living, safe, confident, and fully yours. Smart home modifications can be as simple or as high-tech as you need. For some, it's installing grab bars in the bathroom or a walk-in shower to make getting ready in the morning feel secure. For others, it's adding a stair lift to keep every floor accessible or non-slip flooring to prevent a fall. These changes aren't about limitation, they're about liberation. Take Sarah, a 76-year-old widow I heard about in North Carolina. After a scary slip in her kitchen, she was nervous about staying in her two-story home. Instead of moving out, she worked with a contractor to add motion sensor lighting that brightens her hallway at night and a ramp at her front door. Now she moves around with ease, hosts her bridge club every Thursday, and feels like her home is her ally again. A 2024 study from the Journal of Aging and Environment found that seniors who make these kinds of modifications are 40% less likely to experience falls, which means fewer hospital visits and more days enjoying life. Then there's the tech side of things, and don't worry, you don't need to be a computer whiz to use it. Today's smart home tools are designed to be simple and affordable. Picture a voice-activated assistant like Alexa reminding you to take your pills or turning on the lights when you walk into a room. Or imagine a medical alert system that's as discreet as a wristwatch, ready to call for help if you need it without making you feel like you're being watched. Video doorbells let you see who's at the door without getting up, and smart thermostats keep your home cozy without you fiddling with dials. These tools aren't about replacing your independence. They're about giving you peace of mind. For Sarah, a fall detection sensor in her living room was a game changer. When she tripped one evening, it alerted her daughter automatically, no button to press, just quiet safety in the background. That kind of support lets you focus on living, not worrying. The beauty of this approach is that it's customizable. You can start small with a few grab bars or a smart speaker and add more as needed. Many modifications qualify for grants or insurance coverage like those offered through Medicare or local aging agencies, so it's worth checking what's available in your area. It's not about changing who you are, it's about making your home a partner in your independence. If this idea speaks to you, take a look around your house and ask, what's one small change that could make my days easier? Maybe it's better lighting or a handheld shower head. Whatever it is, these tweaks can help you stay where your heart is with confidence and control. Let's move on to another exciting option, independent living communities with flexible support. If you've ever thought the only choices are staying home alone or moving into a nursing facility, this one's a game changer. Independent living communities are like the best of both worlds, your own space, your own schedule, but with a built-in safety net and a community that gets you. These aren't stuffy facilities with strict rules. They're vibrant places designed for seniors who want freedom with just a touch of backup. Imagine living in a cozy apartment or cottage, cooking your own meals when you feel like it, but having the option to join friends for dinner in a communal dining hall. Need a ride to the doctor? It's there. Want to join a yoga class or a book club? It's just down the hall. But if you'd rather stay in and read, no one's knocking on your door to drag you out. I heard about a man named George 79 who moved to an independent living community in Arizona after his kids moved across the country. He was worried about being lonely, but his new place has a community garden, weekly movie nights, and a coffee shop where he's made friends who feel like family. He still drives his own car and handles his own finances. But when he had a minor surgery, the community's on-call nurse checked in to make sure he was okay. That balanced freedom with support changed everything for him. Research from the National Institute of Health shows that seniors in these communities report 30% lower rates of loneliness compared to those living alone, and that social connection can boost your immune system and even add years to your life. These places aren't one-size-fits-all either. Some focus on wellness with hiking trails and fitness classes. Others lean into arts or learning with painting studios or guest lectures. You can choose a community that matches your passions, not just your age. The key is that you're in control. You decide when to join activities or when to enjoy your own space. Many communities offer flexible support like housekeeping or medication reminders that you can opt into as needed. Costs vary, but they're often comparable to maintaining a home, especially when you factor in shared amenities like gyms or pools. If you're curious, visit a few communities near you to get a feel for their vibe. Think of it like test driving a car. It's about finding a place where you can be yourself surrounded by people who make life richer. If this idea has got you thinking, drop a comment with option 4 to let me know you're still with me. Let's keep going and explore more ways to age with the dignity and independence you deserve. Let's keep the conversation going with another meaningful way to age on your terms, multi-generational living with clear boundaries. There's something special about being surrounded by the energy of different generations, the laughter of grandkids, the bustle of a family dinner, or even the quiet wisdom shared over a cup of tea. Multi-generational living isn't about moving in with your kids and fading into the background. It's about creating a shared life where everyone benefits with respect and independence at the core. Picture moving into a private suite in your daughter's home or a separate cottage on your son's property. You've got your own space, your own routine, but you're close enough to join family meals, read bedtime stories to the kids, or just feel the warmth of having loved ones nearby. It's not about being taken care of. It's about being part of something alive and connected. I heard about a woman named Dorothy, 80, who moved into a converted garage apartment at her son's house in Texas after her husband passed. She was hesitant at first, worried she'd feel like a guest in someone else's life, but they set clear boundaries. Dorothy has her own entrance handles, her own meals most days, and joins the family for Sunday dinners when she chooses. She babysits her grandkids once a week, sharing stories about her childhood, and in return, her son helps with small repairs around her space. It's a two-way street that's brought them closer without stepping on anyone's toes. Research from the Journal of Family Psychology in 2024 shows that multi-generational households can reduce feelings of isolation by 30% for seniors, while boosting emotional resilience for the whole family. Plus, sharing expenses like utilities or groceries can ease financial strain, and some families even qualify for tax breaks or local support programs. The secret to making this work is communication. Before moving in, sit down with your family and talk about expectations, everything from quiet hours to how chores are split. It's like setting the rules for a board game. Everyone needs to know how to play to keep it fun. Dorothy and her son agreed she'd have her own space for morning meditation, and they'd check in weekly to make sure everyone's happy. That kind of clarity turns a house into a home for everyone. If you're thinking about living closer to family, consider what small steps could make it work for you. Maybe it's a basement apartment or even a tiny home in the backyard. It's about staying connected without losing yourself, creating a life where you're valued, not just cared for. Now let's wrap up with our final alternative: intergenerational living communities. Imagine a neighborhood where your next door neighbor might be a young couple, a single parent, or a college student, all living side by side with you in a place designed for connection, not separation. Intergenerational communities are a quiet revolution in how seniors are choosing to age. These aren't sterile retirement homes. They're vibrant, mixed-age neighborhoods with shared spaces like community gardens, libraries, or cozy cafes where people of all ages come together. You might teach a knitting class to a teenager, share a recipe with a young mom, or just swap stories over coffee. In return, younger neighbors might help with heavy lifting or keep you in the loop on the latest tech. It's not about charity, it's about mutual respect and building a life where everyone has something to give. Take Robert, a 77-year-old who moved to an intergenerational community in Oregon. After years of feeling isolated in his suburban home, he now lives in a small apartment next to a young family and a graduate student. Every Wednesday, he joins a community potluck where he's become the unofficial pie expert. The student next door helps him set up his new smartphone, and the kids down the street love his stories about growing up in the 60s. Robert says he feels like he's part of the world again, not sidelined. Studies from the National Institute on Aging show that seniors in these communities experience 25% slower cognitive decline and report higher life satisfaction thanks to the daily dose of purpose and connection. These places often have walking paths, art studios, or shared workshops that spark natural interactions, not forced ones. You're not just living, you're contributing, learning, and growing no matter your age. Getting started is easier than you might think. Many communities offer affordable housing options, and some even partner with universities or local organizations to keep costs down. If this idea excites you, look up intergenerational living projects in your area, or ask your local senior center for leads. It's about finding a place where you can be yourself, surrounded by people who remind you that age is just a number, not a limit. As we come to the end of this journey, let's take a moment to reflect. Growing older doesn't mean giving up the things that make you, your home, your passions, your connections. Whether it's staying in your own space with a little help, sharing a home with friends, upgrading your house with smart tools, joining an independent living community, living closer to family, or embracing an intergenerational neighborhood, these options are about one thing: living on your terms. Each one offers a way to hold on to your dignity, your independence, and the joy of a life well lived. Think about which of these ideas made your heart skip a beat. Maybe it's the thought of staying home with a caregiver who feels like a friend, or maybe it's the spark of living in a community where your stories matter. Whatever it is, you've got choices and they're yours to make. I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and share which option spoke to you most, or how you're planning to age your way. Your thoughts inspire me to keep creating content like this, so don't hold back. If this video brought you some hope or new ideas, please give it a like, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you don't miss our next one. Your support helps us keep sharing practical, uplifting advice for this stage of life. Here's to living your best years with independence, dignity, and a whole lot of heart. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.